about you by August. Oh, I see it. Sit down and get cozy. Get down and get cozy. Where am I? There I am. I say, hey, I look like I'm wearing shoulder pads today. Look like I could.
You're getting broad.
I'm looking very. But hey, if you're on here, good morning. Thank you for getting on here. You know what I have discovered? If you're watching this, maybe there's something I'm saying that means you want to help your own life. So I appreciate you getting on here. If you'll do me one favor, please like, comment, and share the stream. We got a new guy in here, Noah. Do you know how to share the stream? Do you have any friends yet on the Facebook? You do? How many? 80. 8? 80. How many do you need to get to?
My goal is 500.
500 by when? Let's set a target.
What's today? Thursday. We'll say by Monday.
I like that. Yeah. Hey, I'm like, you know what I'm liking about this new dude?
Ambitious.
Hey, and I don't trust new people, just so you know. But this guy, he's coming in here. He wakes up at 4:30. He worked out at 5 o'clock. What time did you get here this morning?
8:15.
8:15. What time did you get here, Josh?
8 o'clock.
What time did you get here?
Right next to him.
What time Van get here?
We always pull in at the same time. It's weird.
About 7:40.
Listen to Van. He'll speak. What time did you leave last night, Van? Go ahead and brag, Van.
Probably about 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock. Go ahead and brag. Put in the 12. How many times you go home and play with the cats?
Every night.
How many times during the day?
I don't ever play with the cats during the day.
Van, nobody believes that.
Hey, I take the dog out.
Man, you ought to bring that dog up here. All right. Hey, good morning, everybody. This one thing will change your career. I was this morning. I couldn't get on my computer, so I was watching something on my phone. I can't get on the card on you on my phone. I don't know how to do it. So, and I don't like to watch it from my phone. But I was watching something else on my phone. What do you think is one thing, Josh? If you could pick one thing, if I could give you anything in the world that I could implant in your brain and give you, what is one thing you think that could change everything for you?
Courage.
Courage. I like courage. That is one thing. It's not the one thing I'm looking for, though, but it's a good thing because you got to have courage.
That's right.
Good morning, Chris Clark. What's shaking? What would you pick?
I would have said courage, but I would say commitment.
That's another good thing. I like those. See, I've said, hey, you know what the problem is? I've said it too many times. This one thing. Well, this is just another thing that will change everything for you, okay? I'm putting this in the headline just to get people on here. What would you pick? If you could, accountability. All right, that's another good thing. Andre.
I don't know. I want to think outside the box here.
Think outside the box, because I'm going to try to trick y'all. My wife is on here. Hey, she had a busy day. She'll get back with you about that.
No problem.
Let's just say the will to attack and actually go get
The
it.
will to attack. Urgency. You can get better at urgency. I noticed when you came in here, you immediately went to your notes in the system and updated something. That's how you get more urgent. That's how you'll get other people to become more urgent, is you've got to become more urgent yourself. New dude, what is one thing that you wish you could have right now that would change everything?
I would say confidence in
Confidence.
all situations.
Confidence in all. Y'all all did pretty good this morning. Everything that y'all said this morning is something that I've said. It's this one thing that'll change. My wife said, what's the question? What is one thing that you could have put into your being, your spiritual being right now, Wi-Fi, that would change everything for you? Well, for us in sales, what I'm speaking about this morning is mastery.
What do you mean by that?
What's so funny, Van? Or Josh? Or Hayden? What's so funny?
I don't know. You just.
Mastery. Mastering the sales game. How many of you in here think you're sales masters?
Are you ever a sales master?
That's a good question.
Like you're a salesman?
No, I don't. And if you feel like you are, you probably suck.
Well, I mean,
mean, who would be a salesman?
You think
Like
Cardone?
Cardone is a sales master, I would say, yes.
Bradley's a
Coach
salesman.
Sales master.
You think Bert's a sales master?
Not yet.
Is there a
No.
certain like target that you have to hit?
You're asking the right questions, Josh. I think to become a master, you've got to probably look at putting 10,000 hours of work into the craft. Is Tom Brady a master?
Yes.
Who's your favorite receiver?
It used to be Antonio Brown.
All right, how many hours does he put into his craft?
Countless. Probably 50,000.
All right, what about Joe Burrow? Is he a master?
No.
Probably, he's in the NFL.
He's on
So,
the way.
but I mean, 10,000 hours. So whenever I'm gauging where I am on the mastery, the sales mastery, I'm estimating I have probably put 2,500 to 3,000 hours into the sales mastery. That's about where I'm at. And if you feel like you're close to 100%, you're not thinking big enough. Where would you put your number?
10, 15.
Damn, you're gaining on me.
Where were you
Do you think I'm probably 25 to 30%?
I'd say 5 or 10, man. You're at 25.
Well, I don't think you're at 5,000. You haven't put 5,000 hours or five. What would 5% of 5 or 10,000 be?
500.
500. Have you put 500 hours into sales training?
I'll say between 1 and 5.
It's going down. The better people are, like Tom Brady would probably say, I haven't reached my potential. I'm still trying to get there. See, people, here's what drives me crazy. When someone has been exposed to a thought, an idea, or something, they'll say, well, I've already done that. I don't need to do that. Well, are you a master? Have you mastered this? Have y'all mastered overcoming objections?
No.
I wouldn't say we've mastered it.
Not even close.
Hey, well, see, do you feel like you're good at it?
Decent.
I wouldn't
Not
say
good
I'm
enough.
decent, but I'm not good.
See, whenever you start thinking you're better than you actually are, I'll start to show you data that shows you really kind of suck. I can do that because I'm going to track everything and I'm going to give you a report and it's going to say, hey, dude, you ain't as good as you thought you were. That's your grade today. What percent of deals should be our target that we close?
Personally or team?
15%.
You think it should be 15%?
I would say
25.
20.
I'd like it to be.
20's high, but it's
A
not-
quarter. 25.
You are to come up with a target of what you want to close. Andre's saying 20%. I agree with Andre. You should try to close 20% of the people you put into the system. So the question I'm going to ask you is, how can you do this? How? Do you think Hayden is better? When did you start here? June.
Mid-June.
When Hayden came here, is he more likely to get on the phone with somebody and convert an appointment today or 6 months ago? What changed?
Repetition.
Repetition.
Experience.
What else, Van?
Started training.
He learned information. Did you learn how to do something?
Yes.
What did you learn how to do?
I learned how to overcome objections. I learned how to fact find. I learned how to speak with certainty.
That's what I'm talking about, mastering. The solution to this problem is mastery. Getting damn good at what you do. Becoming excellent. So we shouldn't focus on trying to do more things before we move on from what we're doing right now. We're not very good. If we were to track our conversion rates, what do you think the company conversion rate would be, Van?
Probably mid-single digits.
I was gonna say 8%, maybe.
No.
Not 8%.
Hell no. Dude, if we're at 8%, I probably would be on a vacation. If we were on a vacation, if we're at 8%, I'd be feeling pretty good right
And
now.
are these all leads?
These are everything that we get exposed to.
2 or 3 or less, maybe even.
Yeah, 2 to 3%. Yeah, probably. Yeah.
What would you say, like, good teams or like some teams are at? Like a very good team, what would you say?
I think I like what you said. I think we should target, and I think everybody that's watching this, Chris Clark, get on here. I appreciate it, man. Contribute, ask questions, reach for 100% and you get 20%. I think 20% should be our target. Now, the secret is you need to be putting people that you know into that.
So
That-
is there teams out there converting to 20%?
I'm sure there probably is. I know there's a guy in Chattanooga, his direct Zillow conversion rate is 17%. Direct connects.
That's stupid right there.
17%. Now imagine if he started putting his fear, his referrals, putting all that in there, how he's probably around that 20% number. But that's why he's selling 500 homes and we're not. Pretty simple. So how can we get better? How can we get better at mastery?
Spend more time.
Train.
More hours.
More hours. The other way you're going to convert more leads is this system. The assistant that you've got. Some of you have got an assistant and y'all don't want it to work. Give them the day off. Don't worry about it. You ain't got to work today. I don't understand that. This is a tool. This system could probably double most people's conversion rates. It could probably, I think we're probably putting people in here and we're not putting tasks in. And then you start getting leads and you forget about everything because we're always focused. Our brain is focused on the task in front of us. And we're not putting enough task in front of us to do this. So the first of the year, I think it's a great time for us to get back focused on mastery. And a lot of people get bored. Mastery is a very boring process for people. It's very boring. Very boring. I was telling the guys in here yesterday, success is very boring. And the reason why it's very boring is you're doing the same thing over and over and over and over. That's all it is. It's doing the same things over and over and over again. Yesterday, it was a really cool day in here. We got a new dude. He's come in. We had Hayden and the new dude in this office, and they were making phone calls. Did you get to see Hayden make phone calls yesterday? Okay, so in your mind, how would you rate him? What would be your number on a scale from 0 to 5 on how good he was?
5 being the best.
Yeah.
Probably 3.5.
3.5. How do you feel about that? Like, damn, dude, you come over here and make these calls. How do you really feel about that? He gave you a real number of 3.5.
I feel like that's good. Accurate.
Okay. Well, where do you want that number to be?
7 out of 5.
If you were at that number, would you make more money?
If I was at 5 out of 5 or 7
Yeah.
out of 5.
Yeah. Of course you would. But when Hayden first started here, Hayden was about as bad as you could be. I mean, literally, he was like just tongue-tied. I felt sorry for him.
I can understand that.
He was pitiful. But the thing about Hayden is he does have a spirit of mastery in him that goes back to when he was a little basketball player looking like Allen Iverson that sucked. He decided to commit to getting better at shooting, right? So he's parlayed his past into today, and he's worked on this. And he has really improved extremely fast. Over the last 6 months, I really feel like Hayden can come in and get focused. When we can get him focused, he can bang out a lot of calls very quickly. And whenever he gets his mojo going, he's actually really, really good. And to get off Hayden and get on to the other guys, Josh and Drew, I really feel like our guys over here are as good as anybody that you're going to find. I mean, that's how good you guys. Like, if we brought those guys over here and they called, they would suck. I know they would. I've seen it. Because you guys have trained. You've trained for a year. You've been around me for a year and a half. You've trained for over a year, really, at being diligent on improving your craft. That gives you an advantage. Now what I want to see is Hayden and Noah and Josh and Drew paying attention to each other so they lift themselves up. You get better when you're teaching Noah how to do this. You get better when you do it and you see him doing it. You'll really get better when you see somebody that's really good do it. You'll really get better. And what I'm hoping is you'll get better faster because we've got more teachers. You should never be sitting there not wondering what to do or wondering what should I be doing. Like yesterday, I think you're a little lost because people weren't paying attention. Y'all need to be paying attention to him. The reason why you need to pay attention to him is that makes you better. Y'all's job is to help Noah get better faster. You've got to develop this awareness of other people because you work for other people. Do you understand what I'm saying, Josh?
That you work for.
Other people.
Like, I help Noah out, making me better, but making you better at the same time.
Because you've got to make your client better.
Yeah.
You work for other people being your client. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I don't sense you understand what I'm saying.
I understand what you're saying.
How?
You said you make people, or you work. for
Give
your
me an
client.
example of what I'm talking about.
Somebody's looking to buy a house, and I help them out. I get better by helping them out, and they get more.
Your
knowledge.
job is, here's your job. The better you get your client at understanding what's going on, they can't make a decision without certainty. Your job is to get your client to understanding of clarity. That's your job. Because if they don't understand things, they can't decide. And they'll stall you out. And you're going to be walking around, damn, they just can't make a decision. The problem is, you've got to understand you're a coach. You coach clients into making decisions that they're comfortable with. And if you're walking around here and Noah's not doing anything, that's a good indication you're ignoring your client. They don't know what to do. Have y'all paid attention to how I can keep track with 13 people? I haven't started on Larima yet, but her phone calls will be coming. Hey, what are you doing? Do I call you?
Yes.
What will I ask you?
What are you doing?
And then,
Have you done this today? Have you done that? What you got planned for the day?
do I ever call you? Do I ever ask you? What are my questions?
What are you doing right now? What are you up to?
Okay. Now, have I ever asked you? Do I ask similar questions or different questions?
Similar. What have you learned?
Okay. Well, the reason why I'm doing these questions, these are just fact-finding questions, because if you can't answer that, I'll look at we're not doing something right from leadership. Do I ever ask you anything? What do I ask you?
You in Mexico?
What?
Are you in Mexico?
Are you in Mexico? Van, do I ever ask you anything?
All the time.
What's an example I would ask?
What have we accomplished today? What have you learned today?
Anything good today? Tell me something.
Okay, now look, I want y'all to pay attention to this because you are my clients. How often are you reaching out to your clients to do any type of discovery with them? Never. Never.
Should be more.
Should be more. So we're about to get into role play. Today I just want to talk to you about what you should really be thinking right now. It should not be about learning more things. It should be about perfecting the things that are going on right now. We are salespeople. We sell, we train, we promote, as Stevie Z says. But what we got to really focus on, if we could sell better, all problems would be solved. If you could close more transactions, a lot of problems would go away. Megan, thank you for getting on here. I agree with that. However, I thought of seeing my hard work compound. However, thought of seeing my hard work compound oddly excites me. Thank you for getting on here, Miss California. All right, shut her down, Van. Everybody.